What's up, guys? Your boy, we're checking back in with the Voracious Podcast. Appreciate you guys staying with me. And today we're going to talk about finding your person. Stay with me. Today, we're going to talk about how to find the right person in order for you to fall in love with them. We're going to talk about how to find the right person in order for you to fall in love with them. This is a 10-step guide, folks. That's hopefully going to help you find who you're looking for and hopefully allow you and that person to remain committed throughout the process, because it is a process. In order for you to find someone that you truly love and that's truly going to support you through those up times and those down times, you need to find someone and utilize this 10-step process that's going to help you maintain that relationship. Let's go. Step one, we're going to talk about self-reflection. This is so important for you to begin focusing on self-reflection. What do I mean by self-reflection? This is where you begin understanding what your deal breakers are, what you're willing to accept, and what you're just not willing to accept. I'll give you an example. If you are looking to get into a new relationship with someone and one of your deal breakers has to be that they have to be single, and you know what I mean by that, meaning that you want this person to be truly committed to you and single and not dating anyone else, you need to state that explicitly to the individual in which whom you're talking to and which whom you would like to court at that time. So if you're asking a person, I'll further expand, if you're asking a person, hey, I want to find out if you're single or not. Are you dating anyone else? Is there anyone else in your life that would think that you're dating them? Is there anyone else that I should be worried about calling your phone in the middle of the night thinking that you guys are dating? Is there any other relationship that I would find out about that would ultimately hurt me or make me feel bad about this information without you initially providing it for me? That's what you need to be asking your person. If those responses that the person gives are, no, I'm not dating anyone, there's no one else you need to worry about, there's no other concerns that I have, then that's the person that you probably want to begin further exploring. One of your other standards that you can hopefully identify for yourself and utilize for yourself is trying to figure out is whether or not this person has ever maintained a long-term relationship before. You could even be inquiring as to whether or not this person has ever been married before, if they've been divorced before, what's their longest length of a relationship. That's what you could be inquiring about. You want to ask this question because ultimately it will help you understand if this person has longevity built inside of them or if they're just a serial dater. You may be looking for a long-term relationship and this person may be looking for a hit it or quit it type of night. So you want to figure that out early on in the early stages. What's your long-term goals for me? Are you someone who believes in marriage? Do I want marriage for myself? What does that look like in terms of us being together? Because if you're with someone who is adamant about not being married, then ultimately it's not going to work out. But if you find someone who may be open to the process, I would say give it some time. Some people need to get to know you better before they can actually commit to a long-term process. Don't weed out everybody initially. Understand that things take a little bit of time. This is the part of self-interest into getting to know yourself that will ultimately help you through this process of understanding what it's look like, what I'm looking for, and what some of my deal breakers are. Because as you get older, ultimately, your deal breakers will change. Your yes and your no's in relationships will change. The things that you would have accepted in your 20s are no longer acceptable in your 40s. So understand that as you grow and age as an individual, that person is growing and aging as well. Sometimes it takes people a little longer to catch up to where you want them to be. But if you see promise in the person, don't discard them too soon, because you could be potentially getting rid of something that may be very valuable in your life. And the last step in getting to know yourself, this is a key step. If you truly want to get to know yourself and get to know this person, don't give it up on the first night. Hear me out. You want to preserve yourself ultimately, because what can happen is if you're ultimately exploring in different areas too soon, the waters can be quite muddy, literally. And what happens is when that act takes place, a lot of things go by the wayside, because now emotions may be deeper than what you need them to be at a sooner step than what you're ready for them to be. You can ultimately kind of damage what could have been built. Sit back, enjoy yourself. Have a couple nights of dating, dinners, going out, exploring each other, having long conversations, even months, right? Take your time. There's no rush, because when that act happens, it really takes a downturn and it can change things for the worse, because you really don't know this person. You didn't act with this individual, and now you're overly or underly committed to the person when you could potentially have built something amazing and great with this individual. Step two, build confidence. Step two, you want to build confidence. How do we go about building confidence, folks? One of the ways that you're going about building confidence is begin loving yourself. What does it look like to love yourself? Begin participating in doing activities that are going to help improve your self-esteem. Do not jump into the dating world when you're not ready or you're not confident enough, because people prey on the lack of confidence. People who often give it up in the first night don't have a lot of confidence. People who are not willing to lay down their deal breakers initially will ultimately have low self-esteem. You want to begin building your self-esteem and doing activities to help you stay reassured and self-assured, to ensure that the person coming into your life will respect you, trust you, and honor you based on your love languages. Another way that we can build self-confidence is pursuing hobbies or activities that are going to help us boost it. What does that look like? Exercising. Exercise is a great confidence booster, right? Because as you shed the weight, you get the compliments and you feel better about yourself and the things that you're willing to accept and not willing to accept. Two, pursue a hobby that you may love to do, whether it be photography, podcasting, spending time with family or friends, giving back to your community. Help build your self-esteem up, because you want to be ready for these people out here. This is a brutal world. I want to try and prepare you guys before you get out into the world and not really see what's coming before it truly happens. I don't want to get you hit by a Mack truck. I want to have you prepared so that way when you step out into this dating world, you have made the effort and take the concerted steps in order to ensure that you are moving in the right direction. You want to make sure that whoever you're dealing with knows that you didn't come here to play any games and that you're ultimately looking for your person. Another great activity that you can do is positive self-affirmations. What do I mean by that? Positive self-affirmations, meaning you say to yourself, it may sound cliche, you may even want to write these down, but you're going to begin saying things and believing these things, because what you say doesn't matter unless you believe it. You're going to begin saying, I am loved. I care for other people. I am amazing. I love helping other people. I get joy and satisfaction of allowing other people or understanding how I can help other people become and reach their highest potential. The way you continue to love yourself ultimately determines what the universe will deliver to you in your life. If you don't show love, you can't receive love. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, love will never find you. Some people travel the whole world and never find love, ultimately because I don't think they've done the internal changes that will ultimately bring love into their life. Try those daily affirmations that are going to help build you and improve upon who you are as an individual. Try those out, see how it works for you. Begin believing them, because that's ultimately how you really receive the fruit from saying daily affirmations. You got to believe it before you can see it. One other way of building self-confidence could be to furthering your education. Maybe you want to go back and get that bachelor's or master's degree, or maybe you want to become an entrepreneur. Maybe you need to earn a little extra money in order to be more self-confident in what you're doing in this dating world. All these can affect your confidence. Ultimately, you need to find out what it is that's going to help boost your confidence. If you're trying to date people, oftentimes people will say, hey, I'm trying to date nines or dimes or eight pieces or whatever it is. You need to be able to align with these people when they do come into your life and have the confidence. Another way to boost confidence is to get out and try. Begin getting out and meeting people, making eye contact with them. If you think someone is attractive, walk up to them and speak to them. You never know where it can go or how it can lead to things. Even if you're turned down or declined or denied, ultimately use that as a learning experience, that I have learned something from this process of someone denying me or not giving me their phone number. Don't let that deter you. But women love confidence, guys. I'm just be honest with you. Women love a confident man. If you be nothing other than confident and funny, those two gifts will help you get another gift. Step 3, expand your social circle. One way to expand, or multiple ways that you can expand your social circle, is you can join different clubs in your community. If you're in college, maybe you join a fraternity, maybe you participate in different social circles, maybe you join different gatherings or attend different events, sporting events, in order to meet people. That's one way you can expand your social circle. You have a better chance of meeting new people if you have a diverse experience of meeting new people. Whether you feel comfortable in that room or uncomfortable, it's best for you to explore it, so that way you begin understanding what you like and don't like throughout this dating process. You also, too, can let your friends know. That's the biggest thing. Do you have friends? Let them know that you're interested in finding someone new and that you're looking to date someone. That's the biggest way you can go about it, is to tell your friends, hey, I'm on the market. Do you have any friends that I may be able to meet? Do you have any events or parties that I can attend? Ultimately, because I'm on the market and I'm looking to find my person. And you never know. They may have someone that's really great for you, truly great for you. There may be already someone in your life, too, that may potentially be a great match for you, but you never know until you put yourself out there. So don't be afraid. Get out, try different things, attend sporting events, go to bars, clubs, church events, whatever it is. Whomever you're looking for may exist in this space that you've never tried before, but you don't know until you try. Remain encouraged. Number 4, online dating. Oof. I don't have the best of experiences with online dating, I'll say that. So take that with a grain of salt. Online dating becomes very tricky because you just become a number based on your physical aspect, and people don't truly get to know who you are. Online dating will lead people to believe that they have more options than they truly do, when ultimately you have very few options, that people are only wanting to meet you because of how you look. With being able to have communication through text message, that's usually how it starts. You have to have a hook, some type of catchy line, some beautiful picture, or some fancy car, or some big house, something you need to be showing off or doing in order to hook someone in social media and online dating. It's a very tricky world. The other key to online dating is finding the right social media app or social app that you want. Long-term versus short-term dating. Some of them Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, whatever it is. Some of these may be short-term dating apps where people are just looking to hook up and move on from that experience. Maybe if you go on Facebook dating or other apps in that nature, you may find someone in a long-term relationship, or christianmingle.com. I don't know how that one is. I never tried that one. But look for an app that matches your characteristics and what you're looking for, because ultimately that may help guide you towards the person that you're truly looking to meet. Online dating is a very tricky world. I personally believe that you should still meet people in person. Grocery stores, churches, through friends, co-workers, whichever it may be. I just think you have much more luck meeting someone that way than you would meeting someone through social media. Social media is a mess. Online dating, I think, is a mess. But again, it's another opportunity for you to meet your person. Not saying discount it, but just tread very lightly with online dating. Step 5, open communication. Communicate your interests early, or your expectations early with this person. Don't wait until the end. Don't wait 5, 6, 7 weeks in to begin talking about marriage, kids, whatever that dynamic is, going to colleges or pursuing entrepreneurship goals. Don't wait until it's too late to find out that this person does not share that idea with you, and they had no intention of pursuing that avenue with you, and that they only wanted to sleep with you. Have open communication early on, direct dialogue with the individual to ensure that we are on the same page, because the last thing you want to do is spring something on someone who wasn't ready for it, or who never had it in their wheelhouse or on their manifestation list, and this is what you've been asking and praying for, and this person just isn't on the same page with you. Also, too, ask open-ended questions. That's what you want to do. Don't ask closed off questions like, how was your day? Ask them, where do you see yourself in the future? Have you ever saw yourself getting married before? Ask those questions. Have you ever thought about pursuing education? What are your thoughts on traveling the world? Right? Ask open-ended questions, because you want to be able to pick this person's brain. People can often hide behind these one-word answers, or these very closed off answers, right? People can hide behind those. You want to figure out where this person is in their life, what they're looking to do. Do they align with what I'm asking for? If you desire to be a homeowner, is that something that they're looking to do? Are they okay with renting? These may be deal breakers for you, but openly communicate with this person to ensure that you guys are on the same page. Step 6, take your time. Don't rush it. Allow things to unfold organically. That's what you want to do. Allow things to unfold organically in the relationship. There's no need to rush it. We talked about this in step 1, because this step often comes up. A lot of times you find someone who's hot, they're interesting, they may have one up over you, they may have more money, they may drive fancier cars, may have a big house, a big condo, and you ultimately think sleeping with them will hook or reel them in. Ultimately, people lose respect for you when you sleep with them too soon, but they won't tell you, especially men. Ladies, hear me out. Men will lose respect for you if they sleep with you too soon, because they found out you were easy, and they do not believe that they were the only ones that you slept with on the first date. In regard to step 6, this message is specifically for the ladies. Take your time. I can't express it enough, because ultimately you have to be willing to walk away from something that doesn't serve you, or the individual isn't aligning with your higher good or of services. This message is specifically for the ladies and the women that are watching this podcast. Please take your time. It's okay to walk away from a guy even though he's flashing a lot of money. He has a nice car. He has a nice place to live. Ultimately, you may have to walk away from this individual if they're not aligning with your morals, your standards, or what you see for yourself in the future. It's so okay to walk away from the person. Do not settle. Guys, too. Fellas, hear me out. It's okay not to settle with an individual because you have the potential or the ability to find someone else. Oftentimes people who aren't confident, right? We talked about this. Oftentimes people who are not confident will stay with someone who they think may be right for them, but because they're not truly loving themselves, they will accept less than. Do not accept less than for yourself. You deserve what you want. You deserve what you want to get, and ultimately it will find you at that very exact moment. And then two, don't get it wrong. You will have to make some concessions. You will have to make some concessions. I'm not saying someone's going to be perfect, but ultimately there's no need to rush into it. And if it's not serving you, walk away. Number 7, look for shared values. This is so important for the guys. So important. Stay with me. Are you dating someone who ultimately has come from a two-parent household? That's important. If you are dating a woman who grew up in a two-parent household, a healthy household, and her parents remained married for many years, she ultimately will have a different perspective or viewpoint on what marriage looks like. Women, you can use that same mantra as well. Was this young man that I'm dating or potentially interested in raised by a single mother or a single father? What are the dynamics of his home? What are some of the shared goals and values? If I love Christmas, does this person love Christmas? Does this person love God? If I love God, if this person is an atheist, am I an atheist? These are shared values and goals. And ultimately, if you start off at one point, your goal is to grow together. But if you wind up finding someone who doesn't align with your shared values and goals, it's never going to work. They're never going to cross the bridge truly to see where you are, because our goals and values are ultimately held in our heart. And if we don't stay focused and stay committed to what we want as individuals, someone else can draw you off track, whatever that track is. So that's something to keep in mind. Find someone with the shared goals and values. Ultimately, do you want to get married? Do you want to be a homeowner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you want to have kids? All these things are important. What neighborhood do you want to live in? What colleges do you want to go to? Do you believe in education? Are you a political person? What's your political demographic? These things may be important to you as an individual, but you have to begin understanding that if you're not aligning with someone who shares these goals and values with you, it will never work. So be okay with walking away from this individual, or be okay with compromising as well. You have to make that decision when you're in that situation with that person, and ultimately, hopefully, that helps you lead you to that person that you desire to be with. Number 8, trust your instincts. Listen to that gut intuition. It never lies to you. If you're in tune with yourself, you've built confidence, you believe in yourself, understand that your intuition is a beacon system or a guidance system trying to save you from years of heartbreak. I'm a firm believer, and I also have experienced it myself, that I did not listen to my intuition, that has gotten me jammed up in some situations. Listen to that small voice that's telling you something is off. If there's something going on, if the person has their cell phone, they're always placing it face down, or their phone is always on silent, maybe there's something going on. If the person never allows you into their life, in the deep recesses of their life, maybe there's something that's happening. Trust that small voice, because that small voice is ultimately trying to save you from the heartbreak. Your spirit and your soul knows more than what you could potentially ever know. And a lot of times we ignore the red flags because we like how they look. We like what they offer. We like the words that they say. And they could be deceiving us because we haven't listened to our gut instinct. Women, you have the best intuition of all people. Being mothers and young ladies, you have the best intuition. Listen to that voice. If the guy's giving you creeper vibes, or if the guy isn't being straight up or consistent with what you're asking, ask a lot of questions. Men and women both ask a lot of questions. If a person's saying you're asking a lot of questions, then that means they're not being honest and truthful. So you should never feel uncomfortable about asking a lot of questions. And if a person accuses you of asking too many questions, now your radar and your antennas should actually come up, because ultimately you know this person has something to hide. Your intuition will never lead you down the wrong road. And ultimately, if you're truly trusting your intuition and you need to walk away from a situation, walk away. Don't get caught out. I've been caught out before, and it's not worth it. This is a big one. Step 9, meet in person. After you've met them online, or you met them through a friend and you guys had long communication over the telephone or text messages or emails, whatever it is, you need to meet this person in person. Do not rely on them FaceTiming you consistently. You need to meet them in person because you need to feel their energy. Energy never lies. It ultimately will tell you who this individual is and how they actually operate and how they conduct themselves. Set up activities that will be fun, that will open up dialogue. Don't go to the movies initially, because movies allow you to remain quiet. You can sit back and remain just very, very into yourself and just watching a movie, not having a true conversation. Go out to dinner, go out dancing. Maybe you go out for drinks or things like that. Maybe you go out with other friends in order to make you feel more comfortable. Meet in places to where you feel safe. Don't go to places with this individual and you don't feel safe. Text other people that know you and let them know where you're going when you go to meet this individual. Don't just go to some place, meeting someone in another state or another town, and not notifying your loved ones of what's going on and what's happening. Meet them in person, feel out their energy, get a read on them, and then that way you'll know whether or not this person is potentially for you. Can't express it enough. Take your time. This is a big one, guys. This is a huge one. This is number 10. Stay open-minded. Nothing comes perfectly packaged in a box. You will have to make exceptions the same way this person will have to make exceptions. There is no way you're going to find the perfect person because no one has ever been made perfectly on this earth. Everyone is dealing with something. Everyone has issues. Ultimately, some people hide their issues better than others, but you will figure that out over time. Do not come in here with the perfect ideal of who this individual should be, how they should act, how many kids they should have, the lifestyle that they should live, the job that they should have, how much money that they're making. You have to be open to compromise. You could be passing up on potentially a great person or the person that's specifically been designed for you, but you're unwilling to do that because you're living in your ego, or you don't want to bring this person around your family and friends, maybe because this person isn't a high earner, or maybe this person doesn't have the college education. Whatever the case is, be open to surprises and what's going on in your life. Don't get caught up with the idea of that I need to meet the ideal person. They need to be living this particular lifestyle in order for me to entertain them, because ultimately you'll wind up growing old if your expectations are set too high, men and women. The older we get, the less desirable we become. Unless you have a ton of money, young people aren't desiring to date older people. Older people are always desiring to date younger people, but ultimately those who can have the money and resources to do so. So don't get caught up in that mindset. Be open to changing and having an open dialogue or understanding. Yeah, this isn't perfectly how I want it to align, but I'm okay with that, and I'm willing to make concessions in order to get what I want. Remain encouraged. In conclusion, finding your right person is a journey and it's not a race. It will take you some time and a series of dates, series of relationships, maybe even a series of marriages in order to find the person that you're truly looking for. So don't get caught up in this idea that I need to find this right person by this particular time, and that if I don't find them by then it's not going to work out for me, or I'm never going to find the love that I desire. You really got to be patient, because there are a lot of people out here dealing with their own issues, still discovering themselves, and ultimately you may be in a rush to find the individual while not really giving it enough time to blossom into what it really could potentially be. If you see promise and hope in this individual, they're trustworthy, they're loving, they're considerate, they're kind, they're thought-provoking, they actually help you to grow and become a better person, take your time and grow with this individual. Don't get caught up in what it looks like. I know young people have an ideal of what they want and who they should date. When you get older, a lot of your ideas and ideals and things like that will change, because you understand as you get older, your opportunities and options get a lot less. So just remain encouraged, stay focused. And if this video helped you, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, drop me a comment down below. Thank you guys so much. And always stay with the Breakers Podcast. Peace.